Hi guys, it's Brian Bond. Just wanted to do a little quick video. Um, I watched a YouTube deal on with Mike and Kim on elders giving a talk at one of the conventions here recently, talking about there may be changes as far as probably having to move people from one hall to another hall because the attendance has dropped down to zero, nothing. I wanted to tell a little bit about how it's changed, just what I can see. As I'm not a witness anymore. I hadn't been for years, but driving by, I can tell it's a big difference. Back in 1989, we built a brand new hall in McLeod, Oklahoma, and we put it up in like I want to. It was over a weekend. We did the footings and the concrete and all that way before that, but the actual building of the hall we did in 2 or 3 days. I know that complete, complete hall, brand new hall. And back then, in 1989, we got it was finished in '89. Is when we built that hall. Um, I was the first. Me and my ex-wife was the first ones to be married in that hall. February 3rd, 1990. Um, and it was standing room only. There was probably 300 or more people there at that time, and even for meetings, that was people coming from other places that we knew all our life. But even for normal meetings, Sundays, Thursday, um, there was nothing for us to have 150, 200 people every meeting. Every meeting, it was we had to put chairs up, folding chairs up at the back of the hall, and use the back room. There's a separate room they used for. Back then, they used to have the Theocratic Ministry School in the front and the back. Had two areas, but it was nothing for us to have 150, 200 people every Sunday, and even on a Thursday. Um, and I wanted to respond to this video that Mike and Kim has done, and it made me think about things because I live close by still, and I drive by the McLeod Kingdom Hall ever so often. And on Sunday, you go by there, and there might be 8, 10 cars in the parking lot on a Sunday. And used to, it was hard to find a place to park, and we had an acre parking lot, an acre. Um, and I've noticed this for the last several years. It's went down to nothing. They're lucky, from what I can tell, they're lucky to have 40 or 50 people. Maybe. 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 And in the video, Mike and Kim tells that they show that the brother that's giving the talk says that you might have to go 4 or 5 blocks, which is to move to another hall. Well, that is totally bullshit. Because even back in when we were building that hall back in 1989, we'd already sold our old hall, which was a smaller hall, but we sold that and we was building this bigger hall. And back then we had to drive 20 miles or more, about 20 miles or more, and we shared a Kingdom Hall with another congregation towards Oklahoma City, which was about halfway. And that Kingdom Hall's not there anymore either. So, um, if you're a Jehovah's Witness and they're fixing to do this, and you're going to be having to commute to another Kingdom Hall, you're gonna bet. I can bet you it's probably going to be at least a 30-minute drive anywhere you go. Anywhere you go. They're trying to save money. They're broke, or they're not as wealthy as they have been in the past. So they're trying to save money. So they're probably going to sell. I would bet they're going to sell the one in McLeod because there's nobody going. And I know for a fact the one in Chandler, Oklahoma, is worse than the one in McLeod. Um, It's they're getting desperate, very desperate, and it makes me so mad that my own mother, my sisters, and all my brother-in-laws cannot see this. Cannot see this. Oh, and I wanted to bring up something. I had sent a text. Oh, a week or two back. I got my sister. I still have my younger sister's, but she's still older than me. But I sent her a text about some scriptures being removed from the Bible in the New World Translation Bible. Of course, I knew she wouldn't respond, but knowing my sister as well as I do, I know for a fact she did look up what I was saying and to find out. But anyways, I haven't heard her husband. They've been married since 1981, and I haven't talked to him or spoken to him in over 10 years. Over 10 years. Their choice, not mine. I would speak to them all the time, but I had got a phone call, last week, about 8 o'clock at night, and I didn't recognize it, but I answered the phone, and it was a man, and he said, "Who is this?" And I said, "It's Brian." And he said, "Brian who?" And I said, "Brian Bond." Click. Hung up. Well, I looked up that phone number because I didn't recognize the number, and I looked it up, and it was my brother-in-law, my sister's husband. I didn't recognize his voice because I haven't talked to him or even seen him in over 10 years. So I mean, he didn't even. I mean, they're so afraid to talk to me. They're afraid they're gonna die by talking to me. So I mean, he hung up. I mean, it was just as soon as I said Brian, he said Brian who, and I said Brian Bond. Click, just click. So I looked up that number, and it was my brother-in-law. And it just made me so sad, and how that it just sad. It's very sad. This is an evil, evil, evil cult organization. Stay away from this. Stay away. There's no love. There's no compassion. No nothing. Nothing. They don't care about you. They care about the money. That's why they're going to sell these kingdom halls and start bringing everybody because they're losing money. They don't have that. The money's not coming in like it used to. People are waking up and smelling the coffee. They're figuring it out. The Bible talks about those who mislead many. They don't get it their own self. They're the ones misleading. They're not saying that they're the only ones, but they are misleading. And they're going to be the ones that have to answer and stand in front of God and answer for all the people that they have caused to commit suicide, people that has died by not receiving blood transfusions for stupid reasons. Like my sister back in 1983, the one that I was talking to you about, lost a lot of blood when her only child was born. And her blood was down to a 4. She would have gladly died for this evil cult. Luckily, my mother, even though she's brainwashed, as bad as she is, there is something you can do out there. I mean, if you're so headstrong that you're willing to die for these things and not take this blood, there is something you can try. And it's not going to guarantee it, but it is called blackstrap molasses. Blackstrap molasses. It builds the iron back in your body really, really, really quick. And that's what saved my sister from dying back in 1983. Because she lost a lot of blood during childbirth. But this is how evil and how stupid these people are. And I'll say it's stupid. Stupid, stupid. They've been going through my neighborhood here the last couple of Saturdays. And I seen people that I knew walking around. They just turn their head and hold it down, like, away from me, like they're ashamed or embarrassed, or they're embarrassed of themselves. Maybe I don't know what it is. It doesn't bother me so much anymore. What bothers me is my family, that they've ruined people's lives, many people's lives, and taken family away from them for stupid reasons. People, wake up. Use your head for something other than a hat rack. Use your head. God does not want people and families to be apart. Does not. That is not love. That's not compassion. That's not mercy. That's not kind. All those things. God does not want you to be separated from your family. Does not. Use your head for something other than a hat rack. Wake up. See what's going on. See what's going on. This child molestation. All these things that are going on. They're crooked people. Now, I'm not saying the people that are following them are. There may be some. But the people that are running this show are crooked, evil people. And I guarantee you, if we had a lasso, like Wonder Woman, where you could put that lasso in and make you tell the truth, I guarantee you, the only reason they're doing this, those people, is for the money. It's greed. 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 Money. It's always been about that. Even back when I was a child, it was about that. I was just young, and I am so glad every day. I pray and talk to God every day. I'm so glad that I'm out of that. Except for my losing my family, I'm glad. Now, the family thing is a whole different thing. And these witnesses are getting drastic. They're doing drastic things. Faders. Faders are now going to be considered disfellowshipped. You're no use to them. If you're a fader, you're no use to them. You're not putting money in that drop box. That's the whole thing, people. Wake up. Wake up. Have a relationship with God and Jesus Christ, His Son. Have a relationship with Him. Talk to Him. Read the Bible. Ask Him to help you to see things clearer. Ask Him to put things in your mind and your heart to understand. Please, please, I'm begging you, please, listen to what I'm saying. This is evil. These people are brainwashed. Pray for those people. Pray if you got family. Pray for them every day, as hard as you can, that their minds are open. That God opens their minds and their hearts to see that this is an evil organization, and it's all about money. It's all about greed. Just like this election that's going on. Donald Trump. This guy is a joke, in my opinion. And I'm not saying Hillary's much better. But if you had to choose the two evils, she's the lesser of the two evils. Donald Trump. But you know what? He's a greedy man. The man's filed bankruptcy 8 times. 8 times. And he wants to run our country. But anyways, let's get off of politics. I'm hoping that this message helps somebody out there to see what this has done. Just to me. One person. And there's millions of people this has been done to. Millions. People that have lost their life over this, of being disfellowshipped, and losing their family, have committed suicide, or they couldn't handle it and lost their life. I almost couldn't handle it. I've dealt with it. I made it through. And I really didn't have anybody to help me either. I really didn't. Please, please, please listen to me. Don't let this religion destroy you. Whether you're studying or you've been in it and you're watching this video, which I highly doubt, but get out. Get out and run. Get out and run. They have no hold over you. Their fear tactics are exactly what it is. Fear tactics. It's fear tactics. They have no hold over you. Don't let them scare you. Everybody's going to die someday. Thanks for listening, and God bless you.